Hello, I'm Michael Simpson, and I am the host of the Silly Linguistics YouTube channel. If you've watched the video before, you know me, and if not, welcome to the channel. Please smash that subscribe button. We love you guys, and today I'm going to teach you my secrets to learning a language from scratch, because I do that every single year, or every 4 months, depending on my mood and motivation. And I'm going to teach you how I go systematically learning a language. I hope you get something out of this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and cue the intro. Number 1, learn the alphabet and the sounds at the same time. You are going to suffer much later down the line if you decide, hey, I'm not going to learn the alphabet and I'm not going to try with the sounds. I learned that the hard way. Very much so. With both Russian and French. Now, I must admit, with French, not a lot of the language is completely phonetic. A lot of letters are silent for various reasons throughout different words. And I did not understand that at first. Which brings me to the second point. You need to study the rules for pronunciation independently of the alphabet, because just because the alphabet says that something is supposed to sound a way, there might be a rule that says differently. For example, je parle. The phrase qu'est-ce que c'est, est-ce que c'est, est-ce que, est-ce que c'est, which means what is it, basically, in French. But you wouldn't be able to tell that because there's so many T's in there where you would not have expected them. And you wouldn't know if those T's were silent or not if you did not know that rule. So you could be mispronouncing it you might be mispronouncing it the entire time if you just look at the word itself and learned the word in the alphabet. Also, keep in mind that not all sounds are going to be the same in another language than it is in English or your target language. There's a lot of sounds in the world that English doesn't have. Just like a lot of other languages don't have the dental fricative, that. Other languages do not have. There's the hard g sound in some languages. There's the rolling R. There is the ch sound that you may hear. Some languages don't really have a ch in it. Spanish does. English does not have it so much. The hard K, k. English, you'll hear a lot of things in English. You'll hear a lot of sounds in English. And that's because English takes languages into an alley and takes individual rules from them. You're going to hear a lot from English, and you are going to take as much as you can from those other languages and then combine them into this giant ball of language. And that's what English is. Number 3, lack of phrases makes you destitute, brother. If there is an acronym, that'd be the acronym. Alright, don't look at individual words when you're learning the language at first. You do not need to look at the individual words. You need to learn everything in phrases and blocks. Teachers in China, you teach in blocks of phrases. Basically, they give the words in context for the person to learn. You are not going to know ball, what ball means in English, if you just look at the word and then study its definition, because definitions are very confusing. Look at a dictionary. You're not going to be able to understand everything in the dictionary. This is how a child learns. They take the word and then they study it in context. Susan, give me the ball. The mother is pointing at the ball. Pointing at the ball right there. Susan is going to know that that is the ball. It's the same principle when learning a language. I take phrases and I study them in context. I try to form sentences in my head with individual words that I have, because I'm not going to learn it if it's just an individual word. It doesn't make any sense to me if it's just an individual word. I far prefer if I have a phrase in front of me and I can see the word in that phrase. Speaking of which, number 4, start creating sentences right away. You get a word that you're unfamiliar with, write it down. Take it, put it into a sentence. Try to form a sentence in your new language, whatever it may be. You see, el perro corre al parque. Al parque. Spanish for you. The dog runs to the park. You're more likely to remember the word park is parque. Porque, which is because in Spanish. Because, porque. The sentence is there, and you can see that the dog is going to this place. Where are they going to? The park. You're going to remember that the dog goes to the park, and it's going to pop up in your head. Tim Donner, famous polyglot who was through a few years ago in several viral videos about language learning. He talks extensively about creating a mental map in your head of all the different phrases that he's trying to learn or words he's trying to learn. He tries to fit everything together in context. He's trying to use the words in a context that makes sense to him. You need to put the words into context or you're not going to learn it. You're going to have a hard time. A hard time. You like flashcards? Great. Who doesn't love flashcards? Most students. But you know what? They can actually be useful. Now, to be fair, you don't necessarily need to take flashcards with you. You can do it on your phone. The Anki Droid app is really good. The Anki for Apple, I guess. I don't know what Apple users use. I'm just a YouTuber, man. I'm just a YouTuber, okay? Make flashcards. Write down sentences, not words, sentences. Memorize what the sentences say, and then try to form new sentences every single day. The internet, number 6, or number 5, maybe, I don't know. Number 6 or 5, the internet is free and at your disposal. You're using it now. I promise you, unless you illegally downloaded this video, which, I don't mind, screw it. Unless you illegally downloaded this video, you are using the internet. And you're loving it. It's the internet. It's so accessible. You're able to do so much on it. And you can utilize it in your language learning studies. You don't have to be a textbook user in order to learn a language. You don't have to go to college to learn a language. You don't have to do anything besides picking up your phone to learn a language. There's so many free apps. There's Duolingo, Memrise, UPanda. UPanda is an example of an app where you can actually go and get a live tutor whenever you want by paying for it. There's italki. There you can find tutors online at affordable costs. Have you tried Memrise though? It's lit. It's on bleak. Look at yourself and remember that you're awesome. You need to take a deep breath every single day into the mirror and say, yo, I'm learning this language. I'm getting it. I'm awesome. And here's the key. Even when you're not getting it. Because confidence is sexy, my friends. You will know a lot more if you will just feel confident in what you have and try to build upon that rather than going from a shaky place. Now, how do you become confident as you go forward? Sticking with what you have and building upon it. You learn until you have learned it. You don't move on to something else. You try and find this problem that you have, and you stick with it until it's no longer a problem. This is how I learned the Russian alphabet. I tried to learn it 3 times before I actually sat down and really studied it. I was like, oh no, I can't learn this. I'm illiterate, you know? I'm just not going to learn this. And then I realized one day that I was just making an excuse to myself. And to be fair, some people have dyslexia, and that does make it a little bit more difficult. However, there are also lots of great guides on how to learn an alphabet using pictograms and little images and memes. And you can use these too, because you know what? That's okay. You're not going to know everything in life. And sometimes it's okay to cheat a little. You've got to cheat a little in order to make your dreams bigger. Unless you're Tom Brady, and just don't cheat. It's not cool, bro. Not cool. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I tried to express how I learned a language from scratch in as best a way possible. Best a way possible. Great English, Michael. Need to go back to English now. Dang it. I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe to my channel below. You're going to get a lot more content and value out of me if you subscribe, because I will help you learn languages. I'm passionate about it. I love learning languages, I love making people laugh or smile, and I love learning stuff myself. So, in conclusion, I hope you have a wonderful day.